In this video, I'm going to talk about what to do if you've searched and searched and searched and searched after graduating from school or college and can't seem to find a job. What do you do? And that, unfortunately, is the story of most young people. You've done all that you can and still no breakthrough. What do you do? I can confidently tell you that, look, there's a way out. I had a similar experience when I finished my degree, went to UK to pursue further studies, and after that, I couldn't find a job, right? I was living in London at that time, and I could remember vividly that I had basically two degrees, one in quantity surveying, construction management, and the likes, and the other one in accounting and finance. So I had two very marketable degrees. I couldn't find none. I applied, I sent like 500 applications in and around London area, and it just didn't work, right, for me. And then eventually I had to move to Manchester, England, and repeated the same thing. I still wasn't finding any work until just by stroke of, I would say, divine favor, that I got my first employment with my travel group at that time. It was based in Rochdale. That's northern part of Manchester, that I started working with my travel, which later became Thomas Cook. Right, so that's my story. But if I knew what I know now, my story would have been completely different, or my experience would have been superbly different. This is it. There is always a way out. I don't believe that you go through problems and the problems keeps you permanently where you are. I always believe that to every problem, there's always going to be a door of escape. And this is it. Now, if you've stayed at home for a considerable period of time, then your options are a little bit more slimmer than the person who just probably finished school maybe a year and a half ago. The reason is that your degree has gotten stale. Especially I would say, if the career or the academic path that you chose has a very dynamic underlay, like in the field of IT, where things are, programs, languages are changing practically every 6 months, right? In that case, then you are in big trouble, but you can come out of it. If you are in other disciplines, that could also apply to you. It's just that I'm not very privy to many industries, but I know a little bit about finance and accounting and IT and here and there, business fields as well. So this is the general rule of thumb. What you're going to have to do, if you're a little bit stale, you're going to have to scale up. You're going to do that very aggressively. There are two things you're going to do, and I'll share them. First thing is you're going to have to scale up very aggressively. When I say very aggressively, I mean you're going to scale up at the rate at which you did your final exam in college or in university. You are going to probably spend some time in the night or the weekend just studying like you're going to write an exam. That is the intensity I want you to do it. Now you're going to scale up in relevant skill set areas for the job that you want. If you are based in Africa, and if you're based in Africa, your strategy is going to be a little bit different than, say, if you were based in the developed world, right? In the developed world, most people could specialize very, very early on in their career because most industries are very mature. Most businesses have solid, big balance sheets that they can afford to hire experts. Even at entry level, they can afford to hire people who are very targeted and focused for the job, right? In most African countries now, the bulk majority of businesses are small businesses. So for you to really get yourself your foot in the door, the strategy that you're going to have to adopt is going to be very different. You're going to position yourself first of all as a generalist. That's why I don't recommend this advice for everyone in every country, especially those in the developed world. But in Africa, you have to appear that you can do multiple things. The reason is this: most companies are small. Most companies don't have big budgets to hire multiple people, right? So if you can position yourself as somebody who can do 2 or 3 people's jobs, the odds are you increases your chance exponentially. So let's say you did psychology, right? Or you did physics, or let's say biochemistry. They're all great. They're all great majors, right? But you're in Africa. There are only few companies that are in that field. So your selection pool is going to be limited. So what you're going to do is you're going to learn other auxiliary or complementary skills that are in great demand today, that even your organization may not be able to hire specialists or individual full-time employees to address those areas as standalone departments. So for instance, let's say they need somebody to work as an operations assistant, right? So operations assistant, maybe your job is to maybe do some paperwork, shove some paperwork here and there. That's the job opening. And there are going to be a minimum, let's say 100 to 200 people applying for that position. How do you stand out, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to scale up in multiple areas. The first area that you're going to quickly do is going to get yourself up to speed on things like soft skills. So how to communicate. You have to learn that. How to communicate. Problem solving skills, right? Your personal management skills. Your attitudinal skills. Because most of the time, that is what is going to separate you from the rest. You have to have those. You can't have a bad attitude and expect to have a job. Period. No, you can't. So if you have attitudinal problems, work on them. Tone them down. If you have issues with time management, you're always reporting anywhere late, you're going to work on that. My rule of thumb is you get to work 30 minutes early. Have shorter breaks, and then you leave 30 minutes later. That's the rule of thumb. Okay. So I remember my first job, I worked with my travel. At that time, I had looked for a job everywhere I couldn't get. And I vividly can remember today that it took me 3 buses. I wasn't driving at that time. So I was living in the center of Manchester, and I was driving I was going all the way to Rochdale, which is some distance. So I'll pick, I kid you not, 3 different buses to get to work. The work started at 8:30. I would always be at work. Latest by 8, I'm there. And the lunch break was 1 hour. I always spent a maximum of 15 minutes for my lunch. And then I will work through. The reason is this. I had waited, for a couple of years, trying to get my first work professionally that I couldn't find. And God being so good, I found one. It was just a temporary gig. It was just, I think, an 8-week maternity cover I was doing for somebody. And I was going to be thrown out of the door. But I saw that, wow, this is a great opportunity. This is huge opportunity for me. The pay wasn't great. And, I addressed pay issues in other videos on this channel. But it wasn't great. But I wasn't looking for pay at all. My strategy was, wow, I've had an opportunity to finally secure a professional job. I'm not going to let myself or anybody down here. I'm going to be the best at this. And that was the attitude I had. I was going to be the best at it. So at every point I come to work 30 minutes early so that I can learn. I stay I have shorter breaks so that I can learn. I stay a little bit longer so that I can learn on the job. And as I started doing that, my confidence grew very quickly. Very, very quickly. And an 8-week gig turned almost into a 3-year job. Afterwards, I left to join a different organization. Massive promotion, massive boost in my salary and compensation and the rest. That's going to be left for on another day to really talk about that kind of topic, that kind of subject. So what I'm saying is that you're going to have to scale up on your soft skills. Not only that, you're also going to scale up on, I would say, 3 or 4 areas of digital skills. The reason is this: in Africa, most people that have even spent 20 years, 10 years at their current workplaces are very, very poor on digital skills. And that is your opportunity. That's your opening. Most people, have you seen people design slides? Government agencies, big private companies, and they share their slides maybe on SlideShare or any of these slide platforms or on their website. It's terrible, right? They cramp everything together. The slides are busy. It's just terrible. And frankly speaking, when they are presenting these slides, the audience, 80% of the audience are flipping on their phones, or they are asleep, or their minds are somewhere. So, assuming you can come in with amazing slide design skills, maybe you've learned about Canva or Prezi, one of these modern slide design platforms that uses templates, and you come in, you help them, or you can develop that skill, that you will be the slides guy. Even though you are working in operations or you are working in a very tangential department, but you have these other skills, that is a top advantage. Number 2, Excel. Microsoft Excel, or these days Google Sheets. I prefer Google Sheets these days. I love Google Sheets. Still, I use Excel, but I love Google Sheets. So you master Google Sheets, right? Everyone. The saddest thing I've seen is, as an employer, you get a resume for somebody who wants to work in finance or accounting or business analyst, and they send you a resume and say they are advanced Excel, their proficiency is this, that, and then you hire them, they come in and you realize that they are really rubbish. They don't know anything about spreadsheets. They can't even write one single formula. And you realize that it's not one, it's not 2 people, it's not 3 people. It's a general pattern, especially in Africa. General pattern, right? So you are going to separate yourself from the pack by being super highly skilled in digital skills. So you're going to learn things, right? At least basic formatting, conditional formatting, some kind of charts, some basic formulas that you can write, some basic formulas, if statements. If you can do nested statements, that's fine. But at least basic if statements, basic functions here and there, basic formula, date functions, math functions, text functions, concatenations and things. If you can do all that, that makes you top 1%. Top 1% of those who have that kind of skill in the organization. Okay? Then, if you can master things in digital marketing, so how handling your company's blog posts and WordPress blog posts, being able to share, being able to sync your WordPress blog posts to your Facebook pages and that kind of thing, and then designing a company Facebook page, their Twitter, Twitter handles, and then YouTube channel, setting up YouTube business channels for them, and being able to maybe do Facebook ads, setting up Facebook ads for your company. Remember, this would have been like 3 headcounts for the organization, but you are coming in with all these skills packaged in one. Then the next thing is, since sometimes the job market is so dry, you will be amazed that most 80% of all jobs are never advertised. My wife runs the school, and most of the time, the best teachers that we've had, we recruited them at the time that when we hadn't advertised for a job. Sometimes somebody would just walk in and drop their resume or their CV and go. And then you look through their resume and your CV and say, oh, wow. If this person have all these kind of skills, let's call the person, let's call them and see what they have. Let's interview them out of the blue. And chances are most of the time that has been the best way we've had, in my wife's school, obviously, we've had the best teachers. Look, you're not going to sit down to get a job come to you. Yes, it's good to apply all jobs online and blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's great. If I were you, one of the strategies that I would develop is simple. I will grab the skills, the core skills that are needed, right? So your presentation, your data manipulation skills, your digital marketing, social media skills. And if you want to take it up the notch, learn a little bit about data visualization. It's a new area. Okay, in any field you can do that. How to present and visualize data so that upper management can look at data in graphical or I would say dashboard format and make quick decisions. That is a new area. I can tell you for a fact, most people in current positions who've been working with their employers for maybe over a decade, they don't even know what you're talking about. So the next strategy is this. Identify between 10 and 20 organizations within your area. Preferably, if you can maybe just the commute distance will not be too long for you. That would be great. Because based on the advice that I'm going to be giving, because I want an opportunity that's not going to cost you too much upfront in terms of cash wise or finances or the amount of money you spend commuting. I want an organization that is a bit closer to you, right? Now, this is what you do. You identify top 10 to 20 organizations. One of the things you can do is you can even go on job boards, right? So Jobberman and all the other ones, and look for companies that are hiring and target them. And what you're going to do is, after you've acquired these skills, if you can acquire the skills and probably have some certification as well, that would be great. But just acquire the skills. Then you approach them. Okay, you approach them. You could do it in both multiple ways. One of the ways that you can approach them is go to the organization at the reception. Just drop your resume. Yes, somebody will argue that they will just throw your resume somewhere or that. Just try, because doing something is better than doing nothing. So you approach them, and this is what you put in that envelope. You put your CV, all right, but your cover letter is going to be different. It's not going to be a standardized cover letter that you're used to. This is what you're literally going to put on that letter, that front sheet. Make sure that it's stapled and that is the first sheet they see. You let them know that you graduated from school maybe a year, 2 years ago, and you are looking for an opportunity to work, but so far you haven't been fortunate enough to find a position. Now, what you want to do is that, and you tell them that, look, because you don't want your skill set and your degree to, stay still, or your skill set to stay still, you have acquired all these digital skills. So you've become a pro in Excel. Don't just say I'm a pro at Excel. Go a little bit granular and tell them what you can do in Excel. So, I can set up pivot tables. I write nested if statements, and I can create financial modeling. I can set up your company's Facebook pages and set up Facebook ad campaigns on both Facebook and Instagram. Right? I set up your YouTube channel. I can manage your blog, and I can set up stunning slides for your organization. Put all these granular things there, right? So, and the keywords are important. So you list them, all the skill set you've acquired because you are motivated, and you tell them, look, on the script, say, I just don't want to stay home and these skill set go to waste. I'm prepared to work for 90 days for free. Never make that mistake. Well, they will call you for an interview. You see, this thing it works like magic. They will call you to see you. The temptation is, and I've had this happen to me as an employer, where somebody approached me that, oh, they would want to come and intern for me, or they want to come and work for me for free. But the moment they said this, it put me off, because in my mind, it's like, wow. Yes, I know you're going to work for me for free, but you're actually auditioning, which is great. But this is what this is. They said, oh, I will do either paid job or unpaid job. To me, no. Don't do that. Don't mix the two. That's why I was emphasizing that if you can get a place that a commute is very short, so that it doesn't cost you that much, should in case they take you up on your offer, right? So you literally present that to them, that my motivation is I want to develop my skill. I have acquired some great skills, and I want to use my skill to help your organization. And frankly, you don't even have to worry about it. I will come for free. I will come and work for you for 90 days. I just want to use my skill, and I think my skill set will benefit your organization. You don't even have to hire anybody to do all of that. And now, frankly speaking, apart from all these, anything that you want me to do, I will gladly do them. And you are genuine about it. Remember, you've already spent, let's say, 2 or 3 years at home. Nothing happened. You didn't have any money. You didn't get nothing. You were broke. 90 days. Additional 90 days will not kill you if you do it from a genuine and a sincere heart. And if you do that, target those 20 companies and present them that offer. You can also target even where you go to church. You know, I've had this happen to many people. Come, oh, I need job, blah, blah, blah. No, you approach them for what they need first. Say, look, sir, I go to the same church with you. Or you can approach your parents, or you can tell your parents to set some of these connections up for you. But the whole point is, you are approaching people so that you can work for them for free. No strings attached. No strings attached. And when you do that, and you go in and you give your best within that 90 days, they will hire you so quick. Because that's what happened to me in my first job. It was an 8-week gig. Yes, they were paying me, but the pay was nothing, man. It was like a janitor's pay. It was terrible, but I never looked at the pay. I looked at the experience that I'll get. And if you do that, and even they don't hire you, now you have 90 days worth of experience. Now you have a network. You have people that are on the field, that are working, that can give you a recommendation if your attitude was great. But honestly, if you did a great job, there's no way the company will let you go, because they will say, whoa, this guy is just going to walk right to our competitor. And they won't do that. They won't allow that to happen. They will hire you. But you have to be willing to put in the work, get the skill set sharpened, and secondly, approach them. Let searching for a job be a full-time job. Get your foot, hit the ground. Hit the ground. Print that cover letter, print your resume, go, foot, deliver it, hand deliver them. Let them know you are serious. Talk to anybody at church, at your local Rotary Club, anywhere, anyone that cares to listen. Tell them you have these skills and you are prepared to work for them. And it will open doors for you that will amaze you. Hey, thank you for watching. And if this content has been great to you, it has inspired you, I have more of such content. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. All right. I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye.